Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest HR Tech Chat video podcast. Today, we are recording from sunny Hollywood, Florida, where we are at the Hilton Diplomat. Great backdrop. I was able to check out the ocean yesterday. And we're at isolvedconnect 2021, isolved's annual conference. And I'm very pleased to have with us today Lina Tonk, who is Vice President of Marketing for isolved, and Amy Mosher, who is Chief People Officer for isolved. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. The pleasure's mine. Now, at 3Sixty Insights, we spoke with you both earlier this year, and we actually published a case study around this. It's a very interesting, very positive, inspiring case study around isolved's rebrand, the technology that you use internally for your own people management and this sort of stuff. So let's talk about that today. And I guess, Lina, why don't we start with you? What were isolved's goals in rebranding itself?
Yeah, so there were a few goals. I think when we speak of brand and when we first spoke during our research, we spoke about customer experience. We ourselves, but not letting our customers speak about us and how they felt about us and their experience within the brand. So that was probably the first order of business, to talk to our customers and find out and dig into the brand and what it meant. During that period, we discovered two other things, that not only our brand was a brand of brands, we all knew. So we were isolved, but we were isolved HCM, but we were benefit services, but we were all kinds of brands. So a brand of brands. So that needed to go away, and we needed to find that identity. One thing that we did not cover during our research is that actually the look of the brand was actually very important to us, incredibly important to us. So as you look at our industry, we all kind of look very similar at the time. So we wanted to pivot away from the industry. We wanted to look different. We wanted to stand out when we were all together. So we selected our colors based on that. So within our industry, you probably didn't see any black and pink, and it's been a tremendous experience from the brand look perspective. I think it's been embraced in ways that I never expected to be embraced, but we definitely stand out, and that was a very, very important goal that we needed to achieve when we looked at our brand goals.
Yeah, well, it definitely does pop, and you're right about that. You need to be able to stand out from the competition, and even just from a visual standpoint, before anyone even checks you out further as a vendor, because they might not otherwise. So that visual aspect is so huge, and very smart using pink and black, because if it had just been pink, that might not have, what's the word? It might not have been enough contrast with the colors around it wherever it appeared. And of course, if it had just been black, that would have been kind of depressing. So, together though, you really ensured that popping aspect. So, congratulations on that. No, I absolutely love it.
Thank you. I think the color selection, definitely one of the things we achieved with that was strength within the brand too, and we see it today after a year. We see the strength of the brand visually as well.
Yeah. Amy, do you have anything to add around the branding, sort of the what Lina was talking about?
Well, when we decided to rebrand the organization with the pink and black and the new isolved logo, we also did some consolidation of our branding for internal and external. And what bringing also the new brand into the consolidation of the naming convention of isolved did for us internally was really bring us all together under one culture. The win is one concept really took shape for us as an organization, internally and culturally as well. So we really took advantage of that. And we branded a lot of our initiatives internally from an HR perspective around that, and around the same time as well, just to reinforce that rebranding that marketing was doing an amazing job of externally, and both externally and internally. We bleed pink. over here at isolved now, which is an incredibly enduring phrase that we use. We really have come all together kind of as a, I think the result, it really kicked off with that rebrand.
Yeah.
And it's been just a pleasure to see it happen so organically around the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Lina, just kind of getting into some more specifics here. What impacts did the global pandemic have on isolved's rebranding plans?
So we were just talking about this morning on, the pandemic, has had some positive and negative impact on within the business, any personal story. And I have to say for the brand itself, it's been a very positive experience for us. I think the moment we started focusing on our customers and focusing on the experience, it was not just from our customers, from out to in, but it was in and out too. So it was coming both ways. And I would say the pandemic allowed us to have that experience within the internal teams were living that. They started embracing the brand. So our customers were talking about the brand. Well, now I want to meet my customers more, and I want to be more in contact with my customers. So I feel like the experience that we speak of the brand was happening both ways. And it was a very positive impact for us. We're seeing obviously the results today. We didn't see them immediately because the pandemic was happening, but within months, we started seeing, well, we're all talking about the pink, yes, colors and whatnot, but then we were talking about the experience of us as employees, of the company, of the customer.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And not to go back to that pink again, but that was so brilliant because it just created buzz,
Yeah, and I have to say, obviously, we're at our conference here, and there's a lot of pink going around. We have pink suits, we have pink capes, we have all the pink happening. But to my surprise, this has probably been a surprise that I did not expect. We're seeing our customers show up in pink.
I love it.
And because they want to create that statement. So I approached one of them this morning and he said, well, I just figured that we all had to wear pink. And things are going so well for me that I thought this was my way to give back to you. My God, talk about a pink success.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I have to wear pink, right? It's almost like it's a requirement. I need to wear pink. I love it. Hey, Amy, so a little bunny told me that isolved uses its own solution internally. Drinking your own. Yeah, that's admirable. How is that working for the company?
It's fantastic. We've grown the business headcount, our employees, from about 40% in the last year. And really, honestly, I'm being perfectly honest when I say this. Of course, you would expect to hear this from me, but really there's some honesty here. A lot of that, 99%, I'm going to say, was due to better use of our own technology. Wow. Right. And really taking advantage of this incredible platform that we have available to us on this. It's an incredible layout, right? It's a smorgasbord of ability. And we've really taken advantage of that. And our team is doing an outstanding job of building best practice, utilizing our own technology in every module. And there aren't a lot of HR organizations out there, I think, that really focus on that. And I feel like that's something that they should be focusing on, really, like embrace the technology, let it do the work for you. It'll ultimately make you, more successful as an HR professional. I'm a huge proponent, obviously. But
we do believe you, though. I believe you. I'm not surprised at all. You're right. There are not every HCM vendor, technology vendor, uses its own technology, which to me is kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way, Brett, that we could onboard 20 to 30 employees a week like we do today, all across the country in 48 states. without having access and utilizing this platform at best practice.
Yeah, I think that's a huge point. And you took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say 40% growth in employee count.
Incredible.
Yeah. That's like a major selling point for any vendor's technology, is that, you know, the ability to scale to workforce growth. I mean, that's a huge selling point all the time. So the fact that you guys are actually achieving that with your own system for your own growth, I mean, that's huge. That's proof positive right there.
I mean, you've got a referenceable customer right here, right at the house.
Wonderful.
Noted.
You already know that.
And I should mention that the case study about this that we published at 360 Insights is available for free download at our website. All we ask is for your someone's email in response. Amy, what other tools does isolved use internally to facilitate, you know, things like employee collaboration and optimize things like employee engagement?
Well, we're utilizing isolved Share and Perform from an engagement platform perspective. We do all of our own engagement surveys in-house utilizing the platform. Really provides us with an area where we can have our own intranet without having to manage a separate website. It's got all of our library of forms and other policies contained. It's got a knowledge base within it. So if there's questions about HR practices, or if there's questions about, you know, how to support a customer differently or better, or specific situation that's going on with a customer, you can post in Share and Perform, and not only can you search answers that have been, questions that have been answered previously, but you can say, hey, I couldn't find an answer to this. Does anybody know? And you've got here, we have 1,300 employees now. You've got 1,300 employees at your disposal, right? They are all on Share and Perform every day. So it really has been an incredible experience, especially as we've gone remote, which we did very, very well as an organization and continue to grow when we were all at home. And part of the reason for that was that we already had these collaborative tools available to us.
Yeah, that's huge. There's this thing called ERG theory about human motivation in the workplace, or just human motivation. And it's this idea that it's existence for E, R is relatedness, and G is growth, right? And the relatedness part is the idea that all three are very, very important. They're interrelated, and your employees are thinking about all three at the same time. Trying to give like the 50,000 very, very quick elevator explanation of this, but
well done.
What I'm getting at is relatedness, right? The ability to collaborate when you're suddenly disrupted and everyone's working from home. I mean, man, that's just indispensable.
It absolutely was. And also just the platform itself, there's so many other pieces of the Share and Perform portion of the platform, the engagement form of the portion of the platform. Our giving and volunteering is right there in the same page, so accessible. You know, our recognition platform right there, same page. You know, you're seeing everybody's birthdays are on there, their work anniversaries. We're, you know, posting, you know, what happened at virtual yoga the week before and some nice pictures from home. Like it's all happening on there. And it's creating that sense of community, which in turn, I think creates that sense of belonging that folks are looking for, especially when they're remote.
I love it. Virtual yoga, is that where you don't actually have to do the yoga?
If you
actually do the yoga. I participated once.
I've done yoga.
You actually do the yoga, but I think you can cheat if you turn off your camera.
Oh, that wouldn't be fair. Lina, a question for you. How has all of this affected alignment between marketing and sales at isolved?
Yeah, so we spoke extensively about sales and marketing synergy. I've been very, very passionate about that probably for my whole entire career. Because so I actually, in one of my sessions this morning, I said, I get along with sales 29 days out of the month. And there's just one day, the last day of the month, that we allow each other not to get along. But when speaking of the pandemic specifically, and when we're talking about the positive and the negative side of the pandemic, I did see a shift on the sales and marketing side. And it was the in-person events, not just uniquely to a conference, but the trade shows or the meetings that we had in the office. Sales and marketing, especially sales, I do believe that they breathe that in-person communication. So I saw a shift on what do? Are we communicating as much as we are supposed to communicate with them? We're not being able to communicate as much because most times when we're communicating with sales or sales is communicating with us, we're communicating through a project, but we're not building relationships. So a lot of my strongest sales and marketing relationships within my career have probably happened when we're out. When we're out in the hallway talking, walking somewhere, and I would say, you know, here at the conference has been tremendous. So what we had to do is make that shift into the technology. So it wasn't instant that I said, oh, we should be using more of share and perform, but immediately I said, I feel like we have to over communicate with sales today. And it's not just meeting in person, it's meeting virtually. It has to be attached to over communicating because everyone's in meetings, and how do we build a relationship back with them? So we kind of tag along with HR. So anything that they were doing, we will try to tag along with them. They have, like Amy mentioned, like the virtual yoga will help us out, and then just talk to sales about it. Are you going? Are you not going? Let's just go. And we will start building our relationships that way. But I do believe Share Perform still today helps us tremendously with our relationship with them. We actually have determined that we did over communicate with them. They got to a point where like, you're sending me too much. No. But so I would say initially there was a negative impact within the pandemic. So we shift into using our technology, and then we saw the shift into positive. And I've seen the reward of that at the conference. So some of my long-lasting relationships, I feel like I just saw them. Some of them I just saw them for the first time in 2 years, and I feel like I just saw them yesterday.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's when you know you're doing it right. I know we're running out of time, and there's one thing I want to get to very quickly, and this question is for both of you, and maybe Amy can go first here, is just this integrate, it's inevitable, the integration of the employer brand and the customer brand.
Yes.
The internal brand and the external brand. Well, the internal brand has the external expression, but then there's the customer brand. So I'm overcomplicating this. How have the employer brand and customer brand, that's just the analyst and me analyzing everything, but employer brand and customer brand, how have they played off of each other? Because this has been a real transformation. I mean, I will just say super quick that this is really sage savvy approach for isolved, to combine the two, being an HCM vendor.
It really has. And that's what I was just going to say, but the external brand is the internal brand. Like we don't have a separation in branding. We're all externally, we are about improving our customers' employee experience. And internally, we're about improving our employee experience.
That's great.
So there is no separation there. It's absolutely coordinated and collaborated, and it's done on purpose. And it's strengthened our business as a result. I think there's no confusion about what we're about. It's allowed us to kind of get behind it and move forward, I think, a lot faster because the employees are projecting it to our customers, but they also live it every day. And that's really, I think, been part of the difference here in getting the show on the road so quickly and watching the boulder roll down the hill, right, and gain momentum and it's so efficiently.
I just love it, that this idea that it's all one brand. It makes complete sense to me. Yeah. Lina, any thoughts?
I mean, as long as your employees are breathing the brand and bleeding the pink, I'm gonna have to get you like a pink jacket or something. But
I'll wear it.
As long as your employees are speaking of that brand and the experience, it just translates. It's seamless, actually. So the sense of community is not community just uniquely to our customers. It's a sense of community within our brand here, but we are all part of the same brand. So we did release here at the conference, People Hear Us, which is our new advocacy program. If we had talked about this a year ago, I would have told you we were not ready for it. So, but today we were ready to launch it because we have built that sense of community here internally, and we were ready to do it externally too, because our customers are leaving the brand. Obviously, they're wearing the pink at a session, so I'm guessing they are. But that's probably what I would say is it's being able to have that brand, but that sense of community where your customers are part of your community and you're part of theirs.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's all good stuff. isolved's doing really, really important, exciting things in the market. And I'm just glad to have you both on the HR Tech Chat video podcast. Thank you so much. It's been a fantastic conversation, fantastic conference. I'm having a lot of fun. Looking forward to tomorrow's activities as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.